Welcome to Tech of a Tea, episode 28. I'm, as always, your host, Brody Robertson. And today we have a guest who has returned many a times. He is the man who made the art for both this channel and also my this channel, my main channel. This is the podcast channel. Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing already. Welcome back to the show, Supercozman.
Hello, thanks for having me back again.
This would be your 5th appearance, if I'm not mistaken, because you're on the first, and then, yeah. 5th sounds right.
That would be correct. You got it right this time.
I'll forget next time. I'll probably say 7th next time or something. I don't know.
7. I gotta rep my tea as always. I got this mug.
Well, that's actually a pretty awesome mug.
It's from Bob's Burgers. And the tea I have got today is Twinings Ginger and Apple.
I have not tried that one. How is it?
It's nice. It's like slight ginger and kind of like if you've ever had apple juice mixed with water, like it's there, but it's not very overpowering.
Yeah. I actually don't have any tea with me right now because I forgot to make some, and my mouth still tastes like toothpaste. So
even better.
But I have an empty teacup. I don't have the thing that says what tea it is. It was a Australian afternoon tea in here.
What
the Twinings
brand? Oh, okay.
Mainly what I drink is the Australian afternoon, the pure chamomile, and also Lipton black tea. Because
those are respectable.
I'm boring.
Those are like I don't know what the normal English tea is, but that sounds like the kind of teas they drink in England.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if the English style tea is what they drink in England.
Well, you know, just the boring teas.
Sure, yeah. I get what you're saying.
I don't imagine the Queen or whatever sitting down for some ginger and apple very often.
No, that's a fair point. Now, I might have to go get a box of that if that's actually decent. I'll get one of the little boxes just in case it's not that great.
Yeah, well, that's what I got, like, just to try it out. But it's pretty nice. I think most ginger ones are pretty good.
If you want to try one that sucks, go get the chamomile and honey. It's
we had this conversation last time.
I don't remember that.
And then we looked up how they get honey into a tea bag.
Oh, right, we did. Actually, since we already did that, let's actually go find out what other flavors of Twinings tea exist. Because, sure, we'll do that.
Well, I also bought ginger and lemon, and that one's pretty nice as well.
Okay, yeah, I haven't actually tried any of the ginger teas. So, I don't have my Discord window open. If this breaks everything. That broke everything.
It really does depend on how much you like ginger, though, because it is, like, pretty strong.
Fair point.
I mean, I guess you don't have to leave the bag in, though.
Yeah, well, of course. Here you go. Twinings range. So we have the English breakfast tea. That's just their boring black tea. I'm not showing it on the screen. Here you go. We're going to look at teas because this is a tech podcast.
It is a half tea podcast. Okay?
That is fair. It is. Actually, wait, how many letters are in the title? 11. Yeah. Are we counting spaces as letters? We'll count spaces. So it's
characters, not letters.
Whatever. Characters, yeah. So it's approximately 25% tea. So I think that means we can talk about tea for at least 40 minutes.
Have you ever had loose leaf tea before?
I haven't, but it sounds like a lot of effort.
It just sounds like you're gonna be sucking down little pieces of leaf. Like, why would you want to do that?
I imagine you're supposed to filter it properly, but
no, but like it. Oh, okay. If you use it with a strainer, then sure. But like, I'm thinking like for people that want to do the old tea leaf readings.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. That
like.
I don't know.
I don't know how you drink that without sucking down the little particles.
I guess it's no different from drinking like orange juice that has pulp in it. You drink it because it has it in there.
Mm, I guess so, but I feel like the experience would be slightly different.
Yeah, tea's a bit of a bitter taste for the most part. Oh, I haven't even seen this one before. I've seen most of these while I'm stacking stuff at work. Here you go. Here's one that I don't know if you've seen either. Can I open up my Discord window without breaking things? No, I can't. Well, we're just gonna break it every time I open up Discord. Cool. Here. I don't even know how to say this. Ceylon orange?
Sail.
Pecco? I don't know.
Fuck?
I have no idea what this is supposed to be.
For
For
lovers
lovers
of
of
picnics
picnics.
with friends.
Who goes on picnics by themselves?
I don't know. That might be a thing that we just haven't experienced.
Ingredients. Black tea. Alright. Thank you for the descriptive ingredients.
Available at Woolworths. Do they only sell at Woolies?
I guess this one only sells at Woolies. Maybe they're only listing Woolies. Let's see. Earl Grey. I know this one's at Coles. Oh no, that one must be exclusive to Woolies right now.
That's so stupid.
I don't.
Exclusive tea.
Look, you gotta convince people to go to Woolies somehow.
There's good stuff at Woolies, but I don't know.
There is, but
Are you more of an Ooshies or a Treehouse book person?
oh, fuck it. Like, okay, I tell them to keep their stupid junk every time they try to give it to me. Okay, right. So for anyone who doesn't know, because you live in a country where you don't give out stupid crap at the supermarket like this. Both our major supermarkets, Woolworths and Coles, have been competing with each other to give out just free crap to customers. So the first thing they had was, what was the first one called that Coles did? The little plastic thingies that stuck to
mini
things.
shops.
Was it?
Oh no, this is before that.
Oh, it was mini shops first, or was it the sticky ones that were first?
Oh no, it was little shops that were first.
Okay, so
yeah.
right. So the thing that started this off was a thing called Little Shoppers. So I will bring up Little Shoppers because it's dumb.
Well, I'm pretty sure Woolies had stuff before that, but
It did
that's
become
when
popular.
Coles also got into it, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't really become popular until that happened, at least. Okay, so what were you saying?
I was going to say, because Woolies has been doing like Disney stuff like that for ages now.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so Little Shop, basically what it was the most capitalist idea that's ever been created. I absolutely love this idea, and it's brilliant. So basically, they would sell, like, if you spent $30, they would give you a little plastic version of one of the products they have on the shelf. So it's like, here's the little toilet bowls, here's the little mints, here's the little razors, here's the little Vegemite, things like this. And basically they were just like kids' toys that were various products on the shelf. Obviously it was whoever was paying them the most would get little plastic thingies, but basically that's what it was. And that led into, what was the sticky one called?
They were called stickies, which is basically like little plastic thingos that would like, or maybe the rubber, I don't know, plasticky rubber things that you could like squish down onto a surface and they'd stick to it. And they were just like these characterized versions of foods. Like, I think the first round was like all fruits and vegetables to try and get kids to eat more fruits and veg. But
so yeah, this was apparently a part of the Little Shop program. So basically, yeah, it was getting people to eat fruits and stuff by giving them sticky things. Now, this is where it gets very different from the first round of Little Shop. This is where they really, really made a lot of money. They had them in packets that you couldn't see what was in the packet. So they were like trading cards, right? And there were rare ones. There were some that there was only like 100 in like the state or something like that. So you have to collect them all. And this is where the big brain stuff started happening. So you could get like silver versions of them and gold versions of them. And the kids didn't give a crap. This was entirely a thing that the parents cared about. And people
This
would
is
spend,
big soccer mum energy right
yep,
here.
and people would spend hundreds of dollars to get them. People were trading them online, like on the Facebook Marketplace. There were people who were selling individual ones for like $50+, and if you got a rare one, it would be like at least $1,000 for it. This little fucking sticky thing.
Yeah, it should. But also, like just before the checkouts, there'd also be like stuff to go along with them. So collector's cases, so you could like when you got like there'd be 30 of them or something. So you'd have the collector's case, and every time you got one, you'd stick it in there. And this is true of like both Woolies and Coles for each one of these things that they've come out with. And I think for the little shops, they had like miniature shopping trolleys or
Yep.
something.
Do you remember what the cardboard one that Woolies put together was? Because they tried to copy Little Shop, but they
Did they? I just remember Woolies is just like Ushi's,
had something before Ushi's.
Disney tiles and the
Um,
plant things.
I don't remember what it was called, but Woolworths basically joined on the Little Shop bandwagon, but their ones were like made out of cardboard because obviously people were just chucking most of them in the bin, and they were trying to say, hey, look, ours are going to be better for the environment. What they didn't realize is that the Karens didn't care. They just wanted their plastic things. So that ended up failing, and now Woolies is focusing entirely on Ushi's. Now, Ushi's is even bigger brain than the Little Shop, because this is a basically a partnership with Disney. So they have like you have like little baby Yoda and little Mandalorian. Is that what the main character in Mandalorian's
Little
called?
Mandalorian.
I fucking know. I don't fucking care about Mandalorian. Or you got like little Elsa and little various other things that exist in the Disney universe.
And then there's the special versions of those ones as well.
So this is just like the two biggest supermarkets fighting over who has the biggest brain way to just get money out of people. And because Disney owns Marvel, obviously they can do lots of Marvel characters as well. So, and once again, you can
But
sell collector's
also,
case for them. So,
something else going back to this capitalism idea of it as well is like if you bought certain brands, then you'd get an extra one. So it would just incentivize people to buy more shit that they didn't need.
well, this is pretty much just a extension of the like Flybuys and Woolworths rewards things, but this time they get instead of just getting imaginary points that don't do anything, this time you get plastic things that don't do anything. So it's much more important and much more valuable.
I mean, but like Flybys is actually useful though, because you can redeem those points for real money.
The only thing I use my Flybuys card for is that it stores the petrol discounts. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a Flybuys card because I don't keep my receipts because I've done that for a while and had 4 years of receipts sitting in my car.
That's not good.
No, it's not. So yeah, our supermarkets are just fighting over who has the biggest brain method of like tricking Karens into give them money.
I'm waiting for Audi to come out with their version, but I guess they're not big enough yet to justify it.
I guess Foodland could do something.
Well, you'd think so, but Foodland's like, well, Foodland slash Drake's, because Drake's are pretty much
slash
engulfed
IGA.
All of Foodland. There's just like a couple independent ones.
Yeah.
Now, but I don't think. Yeah, again, I don't think they're big enough. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Then there are Drake's. Ooh.
You cut out then.
I was just saying how there's probably more Audis now, or about equal than there are Drakes.
Well, yeah, Audi is a bigger company anyway. They exist outside of Australia. Foodland, I think, isn't Foodland just a South Australian supermarket?
Yeah, Foodland's just SA, but I'm not sure about the rebrand of Drake's. I don't know if that's all of Australia or not.
Let's find out. I'm sure everyone cares about this. Drake Supermarket. DrakeSupermarket.com.au. Let's find out where can we find them. Stores. Let's say I'm in Brisbane.
You wouldn't be allowed to go to the store anyway.
No, that's Victoria. Victoria's fucked right now. And yeah, it does seem like Drake's does exist outside of SA, but I imagine what they might have done is they might have bought existing whatever the supermarket chain in Brisbane or in Queensland already was, like they've done here with buying up the IGAs. Yeah. I don't know if that's what they've done, but I imagine that probably not too far off.
Well, I'm a little bit confused because I don't know if IGA was its own thing or if that's just like a certain version of like a Foodland or a Drake's, because I'd always see like IGA Foodland, IGA Drake's. I don't think I ever would see one that's just IGA.
I actually have. I don't know if it's still there anymore, but in Davron Park, there was a little IGA run by this like Indian family, and that was just an IGA. And I think there's one down the road at the at one of the shops nearby. I think that's just an IGA, but it might be an IGA Foodland. But I'm not entirely sure what their deal is, to be honest. I don't know. All I know is that I try to shop at IGAs, but when you want a specific product, you're not going to get at most IGAs. Not happening.
Yeah, IGA and like Foodlands, and there's another one. There's Foodworks. There's a couple of like the more independent ones. Like, you know, it's probably better to support those ones because they're like actual local ones that aren't just giant businesses. But like at the same time, everything costs more there, and like the selection is so small because those stores are always like a quarter of the size, pretty much.
The only big, like really, some of the Foodlands are really big. Not even just the Drake's Foodlands. Like there are some IGA Foodlands that are pretty big. Like the one in Manapara is pretty big. That one has a pretty good range. But I think the biggest one I've seen is the Drake's Foodland on Saints Road.
Okay.
As you're coming up Main North, where is it? Yeah, as you're coming up Main North past the Old Spot Hotel, there's like a big supermarket there. That's there's like a McDonald's there and stuff as well. That's probably the biggest Drake's I've ever seen. It probably is the biggest in the state.
There's the Foodland in Mount Barker is also really big, and also it kind of took me by surprise because it's really fancy. Like, just because think about typical supermarket, you know, interior is kind of just like all kind of grey stuff, but this was like made to look almost like an old kind of European thing with a lot of wood and like fancy lights. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds similar to the one on what's the road? It's in Davron Park near the train tracks. Steven Heath. The one on Steven Heath Road. That one's like really fancy inside, and the one on Saints Road isn't like it's not supposed to look like wooden fancy in that way. It's supposed to look like a sort of modern shop. So it's sort of like got that modern design appearance that you wouldn't really expect from a supermarket, especially if you're used to shopping at like Coles or somewhere like that. Like every Coles looks exactly the same.
So more like a modern architecture.
Yeah. Think of the townhouses you see around a lot of places that are getting new properties built.
Yeah. Just like a lot more geometric
pretty
shapes.
Much. Yeah.
I get you.
I'm not a fan of that design. Honestly, I get why they're built. I just don't want to live in one. They look boring as hell.
Yeah, I think you can definitely make them look interesting, but like the majority of them, they're meant to be like cheap to build because there's usually like 2 or 3 on one block of land. So like you can't really get away with making them look very fancy. So they just end up being like big rectangular blocks.
I'm gonna find one for someone who doesn't know. Here we go. That's a perfect one. So it's basically they just build the walls out of concrete and they're just flat planes. Where is this at? But the thing is, they don't do them. They don't do them justice either. They kind of just gives them the ugliest color schemes they can think of as well.
Yeah, that one's not very nice to look at.
It's a bit of an older one, but
that is a gross blue.
I don't know why they're using it.
It's like a sky blue, and then someone just knocked some brown into it, and they're like, "Oh shit! I guess we got to use it still."
Yeah, this is not a pretty looking house because I want to eventually get to the point where I can just move out of town and go out into the middle of fucking nowhere. And I've been looking at how cheap it actually will be. Like, it'll be nice.
Houses, and I mean, not if you're buying like acres of land.
Sure.
But like houses and like just a reasonable size of land are like actually pretty achievable pricing. Well, it has pretty achievable pricing. Like once you drive like an hour out of the main living area.
Oh, I'm not talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about even further than that. I'm talking like Wakery way.
Yeah, I know, but like stuff
it's
on
still
like
cheaper.
York Peninsula is fucking cheap, and out there.
Yeah, you could even go out to like Truro is not even really that far away.
Did you say Truro?
Truro.
Truro.
Here you go. Here's this
Good
place.
Day, mate. I'm from Truro.
Truro. Here's a place that's 175,000. It's got a. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 6 carport. It's got a
interesting first picture.
Yeah, it's this is if you look at the floor plan, that is the man cave. The man cave is actually called man cave on the floor plan.
That's a bit cringe.
But $175,000.
Yeah, that's
and it's like
good.
A new house as well. Okay, it's new interior. The outside's not new. And it's got a massive backyard. Like, this is what you can get if you go live rural in Australia.
That's a big kitchen.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty good.
This is the dream.
I mean, the grass could do with some watering, but
yeah. They definitely didn't take this picture at a good time. That's for sure.
I don't know. This photographer doesn't really seem very good. Like that kitchen photo and maybe like the lounge room look pretty decent, but like the bathroom picture, you can't really get a good idea of how big it is.
Yeah, no.
And also, the outside picture sucks. I'm just bullying the photographer.
But $175,000 and you get a bar.
So I was just finishing my tea.
All good. So obviously you don't have to go out this far to find really nice properties, but
where's Wakery? Oh, okay, that's in like the other direction.
Yeah, Wakery is up by Renmark and Berry.
That's like pretty close to the border.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, even though Renmark's pretty far away, once you're out there, between each town, you can go 110. So it's not really that far. Even if it's 50 Ks, that's only half an hour.
Yeah, well, like once you, if you go in the other direction, because like,
down towards the coast.
Like, no, like to the left towards Yorks, because like we have a bunch of relatives there.
Yeah. And
so like after you go past Port Wakefield, it's just like, you go from town to town in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. How much is property out on the York Peninsula? I would imagine it's a lot because it's coastal property.
I think it's like, it's not too bad. Like if you get some like in like the middle of it,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot cheaper, I'm pretty sure. But like even then, like comparatively compared to like, you know, if you want to live in like Glenelg or something, it'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah. What the fuck are these photos? Okay, I'm gonna send you one. This should not be your first photo when your property isn't massive. Here you go. So here's a sky view, and then you go to the next picture, and it's like here, and it shows you how big the property is. It's like what 500, 800 square
that looks
meters.
like a literal shed.
But you're literally on the ocean as well. It's a shack, so obviously, yeah.
I'd like honestly wouldn't mind living there. It'd be very cozy, but
They have fucking crab nets hanging on the wall.
I'd be like low-key scared of like when global warming hits that my house is gonna get engulfed by the water.
I think you got problems before that point. You're kind of... Yeah, that's actually... Oh no, there's a pretty big lip there, so you're probably fine. But yeah, this is not a house you buy to live in all of the time. This is a house you buy because you want to have a holiday home and you have too much money.
Yeah, it's not too bad. The nearest neighbour's at least a kilometre away.
If you go to here's a much cheaper one over at Titty Witty Bay, which I didn't know was a place.
Stupid name.
I didn't know that this place existed. Yes, so I'm not fucking with you people. There is a place in Australia called Titty Witty Beach, not Titty Witty Bay. My bad.
That house looks so depressing. Oh, the inside looks nice.
Oh yeah, it's not bad, is it? Around 200,000 as well.
But you know, can't complain.
It's not great. You don't have
that
any grass.
Outside's a bit sad, just pavement
and fucking gravel. It's a big backyard, but it's depressing.
I don't know. You could probably do something with that. I'm sure. Like if you
yeah.
actually wanted to put grass in, it wouldn't be too hard.
Oh sure, yeah. Okay, so if you go to picture 17 and then go to picture 18, you can see that 17 was professionally done. 18, not so much.
18 done with the iPhone 4.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You gotta do your episode lead. This is good for the audio listeners.
Yeah, oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you guys are probably having lots of fun right now.
Hearing us talk about photos that you can't see.
I think we were doing that for like half an hour.
Look at picture 20. That one is so awful.
Oh yeah, it's
what
like
the hell?
It's
a YouTube video.
Wait, is it?
No, at the last slide is a YouTube video.
Oh,
it's literally a fucking slideshow. Oh my god.
Don't play audio. I don't want that. Wait, is it actually just a slideshow of the pictures?
Yeah.
This is... Oh my lord. Don't copy strike me, Ray White. Why did you do this? What's the point of this?
The big scary Ray White's coming for you. There must be like a market of people that just look for housing on YouTube.
Maybe, I don't know. How many subs does Ray White have?
It seems very counterintuitive.
On Ray White 6, they have 551 subscribers.
Ray White 6?
What happened to all the other Ray Whites?
Probably got taken down.
And wait, what the fuck? This channel was just made. Like, today. What? Hold up.
What if we stumbled onto
Ray White? So anyone who's not caught on, Ray White is a real estate agent in Australia. Anyway, okay, so we have the Ray White like Ray White, just regular account. Let's go into here, see if they link to the other ones.
Ray
Ray White. Community channels. Oh my lord, what the fuck? They've got Ray White channels for like every single area, and one of them seems to have been taken over as well. wait, why is there a dude called Ray White who's a rapper on here? Okay,
I'm about to sell the sickest houses you ever seen. I'm gonna sell you a house you see in your dream.
See, it would be one thing if it was just a dude called Ray White. That would be okay. But no, this is linked to from the official Ray White YouTube channel.
1 subscriber.
What am I looking at?
I have a feeling that they used because if you want to do like boxes on the side of your channel, you can either put in the URL or search for someone. So I'm guessing some boomer probably searched Ray White and was like, yeah, that looks like a house.
Wait, there's another one in here. Indar RWS, which has no content.
Ray White, the Foundation Freestyle. This dude has more views than my videos. That's sad.
Your videos are actually good, so...
I mean, debatable, but sure.
Well, some of them are.
I'm gonna put that on watch later. I'll listen to this man freestyle.
Alright, sure. Since we're already on the topic of doing things that are bad for the audio listeners, here's my shirt. It's a pretty awesome shirt. You can't read it because it's upside down. It says cutlery, and this side says apple. You have
apple cutlery.
You have a cutlery apple, and give me 1 second. It
what
gets
is
better.
This a reference to?
It gets better. Here you go. You have a cutlery apple.
Oh, so it's just like you stab stuff into it.
That's a anything for views joke. Go watch his and Max Mofo's podcast.
I don't know. I can't stand Chad very much.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can only watch him in small doses.
He's a bit much to handle.
And same with Max, unless he's not screaming at the video.
I think this came from one of their... sometimes they'll go, because it did well the first time, they go on Fiverr and order a bunch of shirt designs. And I think this was one of the shirt designs. If I remember correctly. I'll show you.
It's pretty nice.
Well, this might have been a joke they had on the show, and then one of their actual artists made. I don't remember. Anyway, this is the shirt that basically made them keep doing it. Where is it? I'm not going to even say it until you get to see it. Here we go. Yep, that's perfect. Copy the link address. Open the Discord. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Honk if you're gaming.
I'll do some describing for the audio listeners.
Yeah, sure.
The picture is a Caucasian male standing with a golden necklace on, with a black t-shirt that reads "Honk if you are gaming." The honk is on the top of the t-shirt. If you are gaming is on the bottom. There is a PlayStation 4 camo print controller to the right, with a big truck in the middle that is carrying a bunch of wooden logs. Thank you for coming to my descriptive audio.
Perfect. Yep. Have to make it entertaining for the audio guys at some point.
If that doesn't paint the perfect picture in your head, nothing will.
That's pretty true, to be honest. What has this fucking start been?
This has actually been pretty sad, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, if you... To be fair, I think it was an entertaining start. Not for the audio, guys. I apologize. Maybe I'll try better in the future. Probably won't. Maybe if I get audio sponsors, then I might try hard. We'll see. But I make no promises.
What's your ideal? I know you said you'd take anyone, but what's like your ideal sponsor that you want to get?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Hmm. I don't, that's a. I'm trying to think of something funny, but it's not coming to me.
Don't say Raid Shadow Legends.
Maybe Chatterbait.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
I'll take a Chatterbait sponsorship.
I'll take an Audi sponsorship, I reckon.
Actually, better yet, I will accept a lube company if Kleenex also joins on board.
So you have that dual sponsor.
Exactly. Look, it's a perfect combination. You can sell both at the same time.
Uh-huh.
You can do like a buy one get one free deal.
Oh dear. This is a bit of a train wreck.
Yeah, no, it is. It absolutely is.
Talking about tea, ushies, and fucking real estate.
Yeah, mate.
Is this actually the Karen podcast?
Well, if we're going to continue on the Karening, did you... Okay, so I don't know if you've seen the fairly viral video going around Australia right now about the woman in Victoria getting arrested.
Maybe.
Fuck, okay, I'm surprised you managed to miss it.
For the audio listeners, please accurately describe the video.
Okay, so in Victoria, there was a protest being planned called the Freedom Day protest, which is at this stage still happening tomorrow. Basically, it's going to be a protest to protest the lockdowns that are happening right now. And the woman who ended up planning it, she was just in her home, minding her own business, and the police come knocking on her door and then put her in handcuffs, take her away, and arrest her.
Okay.
And their reasoning was that she was in. It was for incitement. She was inciting the protest, therefore, she should be arrested.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much how that went down. Also, they confiscated all computing devices in their house, even the ones that she wasn't using herself. And yeah, people are not happy in Australia. Rightly so.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really want to be arrested for organizing a Facebook event.
To be fair, I don't think you should protest. I also don't think that you should be arrested for trying to protest, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Like, it's probably not the best time to protest about, a virus, but at the same time, you should be able to legally, freely protest stuff without being arrested for it.
And this is just a part of the long line of Dan Andrews doing fun things in Victoria. People have started to call the Premier of Victoria Dictator Dan at this point, just because of how ridiculous some of the things are getting. So, have I told you about the drones that Victoria's using?
No, I didn't know about this.
Okay, so
I don't follow news.
Good,
so,
you shouldn't, because it will make you sad. So to actually tell you about the drones, it is say some other things. In Victoria, if you are not going to work, you are not allowed. Oh, sorry, in Melbourne specifically, if you are not going to work, you are not allowed to go more than 5 kilometers from your house.
Yeah,
And
I know that one.
Also, there is a curfew from 8 p.m. till 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And to ensure that people are not breaking these rules, because obviously they don't have enough police to keep track of everyone in Melbourne, they're using drones to basically watch if people are going outside of their houses for too long. Also, you can only stay... If you're not going to work, you can only leave your house an hour a day as well.
That is actually cursed.
Like, Victoria's fucked right now. That's how I feel about them. Like, I don't like Victoria, but I can I can sympathize with the people who have some serious problems with the leadership of that state right now.
No, that is rough. I remember like when I was doing just like self isolation stuff for
Mhm.
like a month, and like I'd still go outside for like exercise and stuff, but oh my god, I fucking lost my mind. Like, and that wasn't even like that bad.
Mhm.
I, having to stay in your house for like the whole day, except for like 1 hour to go shopping. That would be very rough.
Yeah, I'm real happy that South Australia is basically completely recovered at this point. I think we
Mm.
have 5 active cases right now.
I'm pretty sure they got.
I checked it a
Well,
couple of days ago, so could be
I think
wrong.
there's only like, yeah, because I remember seeing on. I'll check, but
Yeah.
SA Health is a pretty good one to follow for that. But I'm pretty sure there's no cases at the moment.
Let's find.
Yeah, zero case. When was this? 1 day ago, zero cases.
Oh, I'm looking at the numbers that Google is showing. There's saying there's 4 cases, but if there's zero, are you sure it's not zero new cases?
No, zero known active cases in the state.
Oh no, okay, I'm
With
seeing the stories right now. Yeah.
this cringe.
Oh lord. Oh Jesus Christ. Um, yeah. So there's a couple of articles about it. Apparently, we are completely free right now, which is good to see.
Yeah, I'd rather not go in lockdown.
Yeah, I know there's that Queensland is cancelling schoolies this year.
Oh, bro, devastation across the Australian nation right now.
Schoolies is very important. Look, you can't cancel schoolies. What are you doing?
Bro, it's my last year of school. I'm actually gonna fucking kill myself because I can't go to schoolies. Fuck, man.
For anyone who doesn't know what schoolies is, basically think American spring vacation, but compress it into a week. That's
Yeah,
basically
sounds alright.
schoolies. Yeah, you just get really fucking drunk, do lots of drugs, and you wake up in a different state somehow. I didn't go to schoolies because I have better things to do with my time, but
No, I didn't either. I respect myself a bit too much for that.
I don't think anyone from my school actually went to schoolies. Mainly because we were too poor.
I know some people that did go, and I also know some people the years afterwards that would go and jump over the fence
Mm-hmm.
because they're like literally got nothing else going on in their lives. They're like, bro, schoolies is the one thing that will actually bring me happiness.
Mate, there's nothing wrong with being a toolie.
Okay, this is my life plan. Okay, I'm gonna drop out. Gonna drop out in year 10, get into a trade, go to schoolies every year. I go to schoolies before I even turn 18. That's how fucking sick kind I am.
I do know people like that, to be honest. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, there's some people, I don't get the party culture thing. There's some people who just do it every weekend. How are those people surviving right now with clubs, like, still not being fully open?
I don't know. Like, probably just getting smashed at home.
Yeah, that's fair. Because, like, do you know how the Woolshed and all of those are actually operating right now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've walked past them a couple times and been like, oh, they're actually open.
They're not fully open. Um, they're at least as last time I talked to my sister, the way they're open right now is kind of not making any sense. Okay, so basically, they have the music going, but you have to social distance and you're not allowed to dance. So
I just stand here in a fucking grid pattern.
basically, so the music is blaring. You can't talk to anyone, and you're not allowed to dance. So I'm not sure what the entire point of even being there is.
I mean, that sounds like the experience minus the dancing, to
Yeah.
be quite honest.
Well, the dancing's the only fun thing to be there for, unless you're trying to hook up with someone.
You telling me you're like rubbing bodies with random people in fucking the trap room in Dog and Duck, but it was fucking good.
I actually do miss Dog and Duck. But yes, that's the only fun thing to do there. Just rub your crotch up against people. Male or female, doesn't matter. You're too drunk to care.
It's a person. That's all that matters, bro.
But so basically, it's the way it's set up right now is it's sort of like being in a pub, but the music's just way too loud.
That sounds awful, but then again, that's just me coming from someone that just does not like clubbing or going
That's
to
fair.
the pub for a drink. That's like, honestly, that I feel like that's when you know that you're fucking depressed beyond repair. Is when you go to the pub every night. You're like, shit, you love him going down to the pub for a couple schooners. All right, so I got me VB and. I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm going to sit here, watch the footy on the TV, eat some peanuts, and that's my night until I come home at 1 a.m. fucking blackout drunk, hit my missus, and then go to sleep.
Mate, you gotta go there with the boys. After you knock off from the work site, you gotta fucking go down your high vis. Make sure you don't take the high vis off. You have to make sure you keep that on. And just fucking all sit around just getting smashed. And then drive home, and then you're good.
That's like the two different people that you see going to the pub. Or the third group, which is just like the family going there for dinner.
Yeah.
Because they don't feel like cooking anything. They go like, down here for a pub meal, a nice snitty, nice chips and a shit salad. And then, yeah, you have the depressed loners, and then you have the boys, which are like, yeah, okay, let's fucking go. Hit them back, man.
You get fucking pissed, then go to work, 5 a.m. the next day, rinse and repeat. I wonder why I have no money.
Fuck, boys, you got myself a DUI. I can't come into work today. I got to bring me tools on the bus.
Fucking hell. Oh, Lord. Yes.
Them fucking coppers, they're really what's ruining Australia. Them fucking breath checkers, that's what really should be writing about, okay? You know, I have my Australian right to suck down 10 fucking schooners, mate, and then go back home in my vehicular device.
Oh.
I don't want no fucking copper breath testing me, because that shit's un-Australian.
I just thought of a great idea for an app. So you know how there's some of those petrol tracking apps?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh, here's whatever the price is at this place, here's whatever it is at this. Do the same thing, but do it for like undercover cop cars that are taking speeds, or for breath test stations, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking brilliant idea.
There's like Facebook groups for that.
I know there are, but it's so much better if you just put it into an app and then everyone can very easily see the information like that.
Surely that would get taken down.
Google has literal malware on the Play Store. I don't think Google cares.
I mean, probably not. That's fair, but like, you know, it'd probably come out and it'll last around for a while, and then like some fucking cop that thinks his top shit's like, oh, I found out about this app, I'm getting it fucking taken down.
Well, yeah, if I was in Victoria, they'd probably show up at my door and arrest me.
For even thinking of the idea.
How dare you express any interest in this idea? I will arrest you now.
They've got like some telepath people that have been working on secretly in the government coming into Victoria. So, you know, as soon as you think of protesting, they fucking knock down your door.
Oh, Victoria. I wish it wasn't like Melbourne's a really beautiful city. I don't know if you've ever gone there.
I have been to Melbourne, and this was when I was younger. But for me, I found it very overwhelming,
Mm.
just compared to Adelaide.
It's sort of like a little. I guess the best way to describe it is take like an American city, like take like I don't know, just any big American city, and then stick it into Australia. It seems like it makes no sense here because I think the population of Adelaide, what, it's 500,000 in that just the city.
Is it?
It Adelaide population. I know it's not much. It might be more.
I thought it was like a million.
Might be a million. It is. Oh, okay, no, I'm completely wrong. It's 1.3 million. Anyway, it's a very small number of people compared to Melbourne. Melbourne, I think, is triple the number. Like, I think it's triple or quadruple the number of people in like half the space.
Mm-hmm.
So it's way more condensed, and it feels like you're actually in a big city. Like Adelaide, you can walk around and never bump into anyone. Melbourne, you actually might bump into people when you're walking around.
Yeah, if you're like, unless you're like around Hindley Street and Rundle Mall, which are like the main streets, like you can very easily walk around and just like, I mean, assuming this isn't like peak time where like people are getting off work and stuff, but like just during the day or like afterwards, you know, there's not a whole lot of people around.
Yeah, but Victoria's kind of like that in general. Like Victoria, I think, what is the population of Victoria? I know it's way bigger than South Australia. South Australia population. So our population is 1.6 million. So most of the people are in Adelaide. And Victoria population is 6.3 million. So I think a good way to demonstrate how stupid this is I'll show you a map of Australia. Because the population of Victoria is more than the population of Queensland. Okay, so here we go. So this little thing down here, this is Victoria. It's like double the size of Tasmania. I don't know how big across it is, but you've seen a map of Australia before. This right here is Queensland. I would say it's like 5-6 times the size of Victoria and about 1 million less people. This is why Victoria has, like, this is why their cases are so high. This is why there's too many people in Melbourne. This is why there's a lot of problems in that state. There's just too many people there. Like, you shouldn't have that many people in a city. You shouldn't have that many people in a state. Basically how I feel about that.
Asian countries be walking in here telling you otherwise.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm looking at this from an Australian perspective where we have fuck all people.
In the big desert.
In the big desert. Pretty much, yeah.
I don't think we've touched on any of these topics that I've written down.
We haven't touched on any of mine either. Oh, wait, no, one. Victoria, that's all.
Nice.
So what do you got? What do you got on there? Because we already did one of mine.
One of the things, I was talking to Kenley about it because he watches all the episodes I'm in, and he's saying how we're not allowed to talk about games anymore. Because he like has never really played video games, which I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know, Kenley's a weird character. He hasn't played video games. He's only just recently started watching TV shows. Like, he's only ever watched movies before, which... What are you, in the fucking 20s?
Explain. So,
it's like, oh, I don't have a TV in my house, I don't know what this is.
What is this alien technology? Yeah, so, because he was complaining, apparently, whenever we talk about games, we talk about it for like a third of the podcast, which I'm not too sure how true that is. I feel like he's extended that amount just because he doesn't like hearing about video games, but... So we've been banned. Good thing I haven't been playing anything.
Yeah, that's fair. I haven't been playing anything either, so... Well, I guess Sure, he'll accept this. Speaking of games, I recently had the VR assignment have to get marked, and the way that Bruce decided to mark that was absolutely fucked.
I saw your Instagram story.
Yeah. Yeah, I also posted about it in one of the group chats as well. So, basically, I've talked about the VR assignment before. Basically, we had to make a haunted house. So, the way the lecturer decided to mark it was fucking dumb. He decided to mark it by himself, which already is a big problem, because he had like 20 people to mark. And what he did was he got you to demonstrate it, and basically he would mark it as you're going through the game. Perfectly reasonable. A lot of classes do this, but usually they have more than one person. Now, the problem that happened here is, one, that he had 4 people assigned for a 30-minute block, and everyone took 15 minutes to mark. I don't know if you can work out the maths that's wrong there, but obviously that's not going to work. So everything ran late. Luckily, I was in the first block, though, so mine wasn't that big of a deal. The problem I had, though, is he decided to mess with the spec as he was marking it. So he's had a few problems in that spec already, where he was like, oh, I made a mistake here, I made a mistake here. This one, he didn't actually know about until he got to the marking, where he basically wrote the spec in a way that's really difficult to understand and very easy to misinterpret. Actually, no, scratch that. I interpreted it correctly, he wrote it wrong. So, basically, the spec said, change your height to the height of a child. So basically, the way that you would sensibly interpret that is basically make your character the height of a child.
Mm-hmm.
What he actually meant was make it so you can toggle between the height of a child and an adult, which is not what it says in the spec at all.
Oh, that's really big brain.
Like, it's one thing for, like, Adam to have hidden marking schemes. Fine, I don't like it, but at least I don't know what the marking scheme is. But this had it written out, and you just marked differently to what you wrote.
Mm-hmm. I had that happen to me in C++ for one of the marked practicals.
Mm-hmm.
I did something exactly like so the way I interpreted the spec, which like was perfectly fine. I did it and I got it all to run fine, but I think like that was the first and only time I've ever gotten a just a failing grade on an assignment, because Matt Selway came along with his little fucking, oh, you did this wrong, you were meant to do it like this. I'm like, hey, did you look at the spec? I interpreted it this way, which is actually like fine, it makes sense this way. He's like, no, it's not how I wanted it. That's 0, 0, 0. I'm like, come on, dude, can you not empathize with me and understand that like the way you've written this is incredibly vague, and I've done it to meet the spec that you've written.
Do you remember exactly what the assignment was, or the prac was?
I think it was the one where you meant to like populate like an army of soldiers or something.
That one, okay. I don't remember exactly how that went down, but I can see how that would be easy to misinterpret.
Yeah, I don't remember either exactly how it was, but I think, yeah, I did it a different way that he didn't want to do it, but the spec didn't specify that you're meant to use this concept. Like,
right, he had a big hard-on for design patterns.
Yeah, but I don't even think that assignment was about design patterns. Like, he just wanted it done a certain way, and if you didn't do it a certain way, he was like, "Nah, this is wrong."
There might have been something with like a. He wanted singletons designed like in the way that he said singletons should be designed. There might have been something with that. I don't know.
Yeah, probably, because like I'm pretty sure design patterns aren't like exactly set in stone.
No, they're not. They specifically in the book that he loves to reference, they say these are things that we've observed in the industry. These are not necessarily like best practices.
Yeah, it's just like that whole course was a big train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
That was easily the worst. Like, people like to shit on networking and like design thinking, but C++ was easily the worst course that we did. and like I have a bit of sympathy for Matt because he was just like handed the for a bit of background. The course was going, and then the teacher that was doing it just fucking disappeared like a couple weeks before the uni semester started. So this new teacher kind of just had it thrusted upon him. But even still, he was just incredibly unempathetic towards the students and kind of expected us to know shit that we weren't taught at that point.
Do you want to have less sympathy?
Sure.
He hasn't fixed it.
Oh my god.
There are second years going through it right now in AGP. Right now they've been listening to the lecture. Like, I think I get there when they're like halfway through the lecture. He hasn't changed anything. It's the exact same. I think they're doing the exact same assignments. The same dungeon assignment that was fucking hell. That took me like fucking 3 weeks to do.
Yeah, just of non-stop work. Like
pulling literal all-nighters multiple times to get the assignment done.
Yeah, for context, the first assignment was this incredibly lengthy, dungeon builder thing that you had. Like, it was basically you had to create a dungeon according to this spec with different rooms, different enemies, different items. Basically, like a bunch of like pretty much the whole thing had to do from the ground up. He provided like 1 or 2 essential files, but the rest of it you had to do. And you also had to incorporate design patterns, which was something that we were learning at the time. We were also learning how to use C++ for the first time.
Also, he was trying to force the design patterns, and it wasn't like, hey, store all your game data in a singleton. That's entirely reasonable. It was like, here, use the builder pattern to design your dungeon rooms, even though that didn't actually make any sense to do. Or use this other pattern to do this other thing, even though it made no sense to do. It was like forcing these patterns into the project for the sake of it. Plus, as you said, we were still learning how to use them at the time.
I mean, yeah, and additionally, there was multiple ways that a design, like, there are multiple areas in this assignment that I should probably explain what a design pattern is for people that don't know, but I'll do that afterwards. There was multiple areas where you could have implemented this design pattern or what a certain design pattern. So like I remember I did the whole class diagram, the UML thing.
And there was also that as well.
Yeah, we had to do this giant UML diagram, which for anyone that doesn't know basically takes, I don't know, you need to know some programming knowledge to understand what we're talking about.
UML is basically, think of it like a flow chart for programming stuff. That's the best way
pretty
to
much.
think of it.
So we had to draw up this massive thing, and I showed mine to him, and I was like, hey, this is where I think everything goes. And he's like, no, that's wrong. And I'm like, hey, I explained that my reasoning to him. I was like, this makes sense for this design pattern to go here. He's like, yeah, but it's meant to go there. I'm like, what the fuck?
Do you know what made it that worse as well, if you remember correctly? The diagram and the code were due at the same time. So it's not like he did the diagram first, and then you got marked on that and you got to know what was wrong with it. They were both due at the same time. So if you designed the diagram wrong as you were making the code, you were going to write the entire project wrong. But with the design patterns, even though they could go in multiple places, if you put certain design patterns in other places, there was no way to use a different design pattern because that was the only place that one could go in. So it's like if you used the wrong pattern for building the dungeon, you couldn't use the builder on that, and then you just couldn't use the builder, and then you just lose marks for that.
Yeah, you're essentially just like, well, but especially if you didn't like. The thing is, like, I reached out for help, but I basically just got told to fuck off. Like, I'm sure that someone that wasn't as confident as me wouldn't have reached out for help and would have been so heavily penalized for, thinking they're doing the right thing, which like, for students that are probably around our skill level, they logically thought it through and they were like giving it their best go. I'm not talking about the fucking dumb, smooth brains that can't even fucking open an editor, but like, yeah, it's just fucked course.
Yeah. But at that point, I was like not having any of his shit. I was giving him like big essays about why he was wrong about everything. And he didn't even understand like what the problem with the assignment was. He's like, oh, I don't see a problem with it. I managed to do it in this long. It's like, yeah, the dude who's teaching the C++ course.
Fucking literally been doing this language for years, bro. It's like 2 weeks in on us understanding how to make a fucking header file.
Like this is... It would have been different if it was like in the Java course or something like that, because Java was something we had plenty of experience with at that point. It wasn't like we were learning the language. I think design patterns are now being introduced in the new Python course they have, so that should be easier for people. But the way they're structuring it is hilarious now. So they do Python until data structures.
Yeah, I think I heard about how it's like, what the fuck?
So yeah, they're going to be learning about like how to do a linked list, and they're going to learn how to write Java at the same time, which is stupid.
Yeah, that's really dumb. Like, I remember, like, I didn't find data structures like overly hard, but I know that's one of the courses that people say to look out for, because it's like you really need to be able to conceptualize these things like in your head for you to then convert it onto the code. Like you can't just, be told or make a linked list and you can do it. Like you need to actually properly be able to understand. So like if you're trying to learn Java at the same time, which, even if you learn object-oriented in Python, like the syntax from going from Python to Java is a lot more jarring than going from, Java to C++.
Oh, and especially because Python's inheritance is... No, it's not inheritance, sorry. No, I think... Yeah, Python's inheritance is fucked. It doesn't have a keyword for inheritance. You have to do, like, importing a separate library to do inheritance or something weird like that.
Why? Why would you teach that?
Python is a very good introductory language. It's not good at teaching OO. It's a very bad language for that. Like, C#, anything else. Like, C# not a bad place to go, actually.
Yeah, I remember, like, because at the end of the end of problem solving program, where we learnt Python, you get introduced to like what a class is.
Yeah, and you get 10 free marks on the exam if you manage to write out like fucking 2 words.
But like at that point, I think I really struggled to understand what it was, and I think a lot of people that I knew kind of was like, oh, I don't really understand it because it's like such an out of the blue thing. And to, like, from what you've been learning, and then you get hit with that. But, when you get to Java, it kind of all clicks and makes a lot more sense.
Once you can wrap your head around the disgusting syntax.
Because you have to like, it is, because Java is just like completely made out of object-oriented philosophy. Like it kind of clicks a lot easier.
System.out.println.
No, you just do sys.out and then you do fucking command B or whatever it was.
Yeah, if you're using Eclipse, you could do that. So I think
one of those dirty Eclipse users.
I think IntelliJ also copied that.
I mean, I would hope so. It's a pretty good feature, to be honest.
If they didn't, I know there was a different way to like alias out, sys out, basically. I think maybe you press like you write out sys out and then you control tab or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But either way, that's just some nice ranting about uni courses.
Yeah. You miss uni? You miss having things to do every day?
Not at all. I'm like, I wish I did have something to do. Like I want a job, so I have like something to like get in the habit of doing, but I don't really ever see myself going back to studying something because just that constant stress of having shit looming over you is just, it's not good for you.
Yeah, that's how I've been feeling the past couple of weeks. Like, I had a, like, I was completely fucking gone yesterday because my sleep's also been kind of fucked, and obviously,
Mhm.
stress plus no sleep is gonna make it worse. So up until yesterday, I was like, I am fucking done right now, and luckily, with a bit of a break yesterday, I'm kind of back to where I should be. But if you let that get out of control, let your assignments get out of control, it starts to like drain you really quickly.
Yeah, I definitely don't miss that feeling. I remember um I finished second year and like it was coming up to like it was after Christmas and it was coming up to where third year was starting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm pretty sure I had like just this mental breakdown. I was like, holy fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do a fucking exam anymore. I'm just like, oh my god, what have I gotten myself into? Just let it end.
Mm-hmm. I was
But
feeling like
yeah.
that last year pretty bad, and second year as well. Now that we're in the final year, it's like I'm fucking stressed, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's
Hmm.
like I fucking hate everything that's going on right now. I want everything to end, but November 6th, there is nothing after that point.
Yeah, I remember. Well, so
Or 29th, maybe. I don't remember the exact date.
third year, first semester, I remember not really liking. Like I've pretty much purged that from my memory. But I remember my last semester was really good because like I got a really good IT project. And I was just genuinely enjoying working on that.
Mhm.
And I had my elective, which was life drawing, which was another thing I was just really liking because it was something that I had picked out and I wanted to do. I don't remember what my last course was, but I remember it was a fucking easy one. So it was just a really nice way to end my uni experience,
Mhm.
which I was glad about.
Yeah, that's not how mine's feeling right now. Big data's not that course.
Let's just go on my uni thing
But
to peek.
I have got a the lecturer doesn't know my name. All he knows me by is the fact that I use Linux. So I'm Linux boy now.
Fucking, of course you are.
Also, he wanted like some because obviously it's big data course. Like YouTube came up at some point, and he started talking about like the information that you get as like that YouTube collects from videos, and I started talking about like what was available from the creators side. And then he asked me to post my YouTube channel on the forum.
Oh
I
no.
didn't do that, but I might do it.
That's
Maybe if,
definitely
I
interesting.
shouldn't post this one for sure, especially with some of the things I say. But yeah, you had life drawing, and what else did you have in your final year?
Yeah, I found out I had IT project life drawing. I thought the last course was like I thought the last course was enjoyable, but it was fucking cloud programming, and I guess I've just purged that from my memory as well because
Good point.
it wasn't like that was a hard course, but it was just shit.
I did not do any cloud programming in that course.
Yeah, you don't do any cloud programming. You're like, oh, here's how you fucking install Parallels Linux, or here's no, do we use Parallels?
AWS is what we were using. You're
No,
thinking
no,
of
no.
another
But at
course.
this, no. In cloud programming, at the start, you use some virtual machine
Oh, yeah,
to
they get you to
have
learn how to use
Ubuntu.
Linux for some reason.
Yeah, and like how to download packages and shit. I'm like,
It's such a
well,
fucky course.
you don't use that for the rest of the course because after you finish that stuff, you go on to fucking Amazon Web Services anyway.
I think, yeah, that course was, well, first 4 weeks was like a Linux course, and then it went into like researching cloud programming, then it went into a bit of AWS, and that's all it
Yeah, it
was.
went into teaching yourself how to use AWS instead of the course teaching you how to use it.
Mm-hmm. That's honestly how
Oh,
I,
fuck.
looking back on my time at uni, I've realized that I've basically paid all of like $30,000, whatever it is, to teach myself.
For the most part, I reckon you could like eliminate at least half of these courses and like nothing like eliminated half of the lectures and the tutorials and practicals and nothing would have changed. You would have
Yep,
gotten the same grades.
yep, absolutely. because a lot of except for the ones that had exams, most of the content was useless. Because right now, the VR lectures are useless. They're talking about, like, here's the history of VR, here's, like, different VR technologies, and none of it has to do with VR game development.
Mhm.
It's not like, okay, here is how you design an interface in VR. Here are some of the considerations that you need to have if you're going to have some sort of, I don't know, movement system in VR. Like, that stuff actually makes sense for game development. But it's not that. It's the history and all this other stuff. Like, there's so much you can talk about for interaction systems in VR, and we're not fucking doing it. And I can talk about this all fucking day, but you want to say something.
I was just gonna say, like, if that stuff was in the first week, then I'd understand, because, like, it's kind of bringing, like, because, you know, your mentality changes from going from a break, coming back into doing study. So, you know, having, like, a history of VR and, like, this different technology for the first week lecture makes sense, like, to a degree. But yeah, if you're doing that shit in, like, the second term of the semester, then, like, what are you doing?
But here's where it gets even better, okay? This part, like, the lectures don't need to exist, because there's another course called Human-Centered Interaction or something, which is just that. It's like, here, we're going to talk about the history of VR, we're going to talk about the VR technologies. That's what should be in that course, and it already is in that course. I know someone who's doing both, and the lectures are basically the exact same content.
Why is that even a course?
I don't know. This course should
It's literally just Wikipedia as a fucking course.
Honestly, VR would be no different if you got rid of the lectures. The only reason the lectures are there is because every week, basically, we go over, like... So, everyone's been assigned to do it, like, read a research paper and then do a presentation on it. Basically, that's all that happens in the lectures, and then it goes on to the nonsense we don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know, maybe you could replace the lecture with a workshop or something and have people, you know, talk about how to do things in VR. Talk about, like, the differences between Steam VR and OVR. Talk about the differences between, or talk about things like how the HTC Vive has less buttons than the Oculus controller, and how to actually make games that, or how to actually make interaction systems that make sense on both controllers. Because if you design something for the Oculus and you make use of that extra button, and then you go to the Vive, obviously you're gonna have to have some way to move that behavior over. That stuff's actually important.
Yeah, for sure. Just, I don't know. I guess it all just depends on the lecturer, you know, how they want to structure the course, if it's good or if they have no fucking idea. That's like that is literally the two sides. There's no middle ground for a uni lecturer. They're either really good or they're just god awful.
I'm trying to think of an example that doesn't fit in that. I don't... You know, I think you're probably right.
Like, I don't know. It's just... I'm just glad the degree did not cost more than it did.
How much is the degree? Like, how much is your degree total? Because mine's going to be a little bit more, because I got the extra year.
I think mine is 30,000.
Okay.
I think yours is probably going to be a bit more. Because, like, each course is about, like, 1.5-ish K, or, like, a little bit less.
I think it's 1.2, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, but, like, if you add them all up, it's around 30K, which is, like, very manageable to pay back.
But... Well, yeah, I've talked about this on the podcast before, but our loan system is really generous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to pay anything back. Like, you can just never do it if you just don't make enough money.
I mean, that is true, but I think I'd... Well,
yeah, you want to, but you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my dad, like, because he went to uni as well, he was saying how he only finished paying off his HECS debt, like, a year or two ago. I was like, bro.
Because, yeah, like, if you go and get, like, I don't know, a social science degree, and then you just work at a coffee shop for the rest of your life, like, you never have to pay it back.
Yeah, but you know, that's a bit miserable.
It is, yes. But I'm probably going to start paying mine back fairly shortly. I said I was going to do it earlier, and then I just forgot to set the payments up. Just pay off like $20 a week or something.
Yeah, well, like that's the thing. Like, if it's really not, I don't know. This goes back into we were talking about last time or the time before about just people being awful with money. But like, you can easily put aside like a certain amount each, pay, and within like probably realistically within 3 or 4 years, you can easily pay all of that money back if you save it properly. But no, bro, I gotta get the latest releases. I gotta get FIFA 2021. I gotta get NBA 2021. I gotta get Tiger Woods Golf, and I gotta get the new
Madden.
Yeah, I got it. Madden. That's that one. I got to get my new Madden, and oh my god, I went into Zambrose the other day.
Sure. Okay. Yep.
This is gonna come around. Don't worry. I went to Zambies the other day, and this dude. I was wearing a Space Invaders T-shirt that I just got from like Big W or something. It was like $5, and this dude comes up to me like he's like, "Oh, what do you want?" I'm like, "Yeah, just a burrito, thanks." And he's like, "Oh, that's a really cool shirt. I used to love Space Invaders, man. Oh, you hear about that new Atari that's coming out? Oh, they say it's going to be really expensive, but I'm going to get it. Oh, I think there's going to be VR stuff with it as well. It's just going to be so sick, man. Like, I'm like, oh my god, yeah. Okay.
Give me my fucking burrito.
I love playing just awful games and paying $900 for it.
How much is that Atari thing? Isn't it the same thing as like the little NES and stuff? It's just an emulator.
Well, that's what I hadn't even heard about it before this, but like I'm pretty sure that's all it is. I'm like, what else would it be? Like, even if they were to redo the games, they're still gonna be fucking god awful, except for, well, yeah, even then, because like Atari games are like, nah. Atari games are just disgusting. So anyway, that man reminded me of the fucking chads that are like, I've got to get my fucking Madden every year.
What the fuck is this? Atari returns to the living room with Atari VCS. The fuck is this?
Some garbage.
Atari's new PC/console hybrid. What?
Like, bro, just fucking buy a Raspberry Pi.
No, is this literally a new Atari console? What the fuck is this? Wait. What am I looking at?
Send us a link, please.
Okay. Have a look at the Atari modern controller. It's disgusting.
Icon.
So yeah, this is
what the fuck? It looks like a router.
Oh, yeah, it's literally running Linux on it.
Modern control. Ooh.
Atari PC mode. It's install any OS. This is a fucking computer. That's all it is. It's just a computer.
Who actually, like, I understand the nostalgia of it, but who the actual fuck wants to play these god-awful games?
Some of the games it's $400.
That's probably US, though.
Yeah, it's $400 US for a Raspberry Pi with a fancy controller that has too many buttons for. Okay, have a look at this modern controller. It has an X, Y, A, and B button. Do you know how many buttons are on an Atari controller? Not that many buttons.
That numpad, what the fuck? That
D-pad?
That D-pad looks disgusting.
Why has it got a thumbstick on it? What am I looking at? Oh, I guess the thumb... Okay, no, thumbstick's there to emulate the joystick, but why is there two of them?
I don't know.
Is it supposed to come apart like the Switch controller? What am I looking at? Okay, listen. Anyone who's thinking of buying this,
don't.
There is a thing out there. It is called RetroArch. And there's another thing called a Raspberry Pi. A Raspberry Pi is a very cheap computer. It will play anything up to GameCube games. RetroArch is free. It'll take you like a couple of minutes to set up. Finding the ROMs will always take you a bit of time, but you'll get the exact same experience that you get from this, and it's not $400.
I like how.
Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Actually, does it show? Oh, technical specs. Here we go.
Yeah, actually, what is it running?
GPU Ryzen. That's all it says.
Why? It's an Atari console. You don't need that. Wait, do you know where the specs are?
Look at it's where the price is. It's under there, and there's like a little technical specifications.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, AMD Ryzen processor with a Radeon graphics tech. You're playing Atari games. You can play it with a fucking Pentium from 2002.
Play it with a fucking pen.
I wish I get this mic close. I need a longer arm because then I can. Yeah, this is not actually attached. It's just held in by nothing. There we go. Yeah, here we go. I'll just hold it like this from. I'll just hold it like this from now on. Okay, so here's the thing about the Atari console. It was released in the 80s. You can emulate NES games with the Raspberry Pi, and you get the exact same experience as this. Stop. Hey, better yet, right? I will set up the Atari VCS for you on a Raspberry Pi. I'll buy everything. I'll buy everything for you, okay? I'll charge you $300, okay? Does that sound like a deal? Because I think it sounds like a good deal for you. It's a good deal for me as well. Do you know why? Because the Raspberry Pi is $100. I have $200 profit.
You know why? It's because, 32 gigabytes of storage. Look out. Or a cloud subscription. 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM that's upgradable.
It's a
Are you
Raspberry
fucking insane?
It's-
I'm gonna chuck Steam OS on this garbage.
This is an Atari. You don't need 8 gigs of RAM.
You see, I think that's where you're wrong, though.
Actually, for reference, how much RAM did the original Atari have?
Probably like 2 bytes.
I'm gonna put it at 512 kilobytes.
Oh, dude, it's got 4K video support.
What's your guess at?
For my actual guess of RAM?
Yeah.
Probably like 100 megs.
No, this is...
It's probably less than that.
It's the 80s. It was 128
like
bytes.
Okay, so my first guess was closer.
Yeah. We're thinking in too many thousands here. No, the 4K output's fine because you can do the same thing with RetroArch. You can just if you upscale the output and then do MSAA or something like that. You do some sort of what the fuck's the word I'm thinking of?
I've discovered something else. There's 2 versions of this. There's Atari VCS 800 system and Atari VCS 400 system.
Aha.
I can't find any difference though in the specs.
Aha. 400.
What? Like go on the technical specifications thing again, and if you just scroll down, there's 2 different versions, but like...
Oh yeah, I see it.
They're like got the same shit.
Oh, I'm not showing it on the screen right now.
Oh, okay. No, this one only does 1080 streaming video.
Oh wow. How much are they charging for the 400? Atari's new PC/console hybrid. No, it's literally just a PC running an Atari emulator.
Top trigger button, yes. Side trigger button, yes. Home/menu buttons, yes. LED ring, yes.
You can't just list
jack,
up.
No.
You can't just list up features and say yes. Why? Okay. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. The, oh my lord. The Atari VCS 800 models feature native 4K. Okay, 4K is fine. We can already upscale video just fine. That's nothing new. HDR video. Nothing on the Atari was made with HDR support. I guarantee it.
Dude, the 4K is gonna make the pixels look so much more crisp, bro.
No, you actually kind of need it on modern TVs just because of how big the pixels are.
I mean, yeah, true, but like also just
it kind of just makes the lines look sharper.
Anyway.
Like I don't have a problem with the 4K. It just makes the lines look sharper. It's probably anti-aliased as well. That's fine, but there's nothing on the Atari that has HDR support. Also, hey, you can watch your favorite web-based streaming videos. It's a PC.
Sorry.
Fucking it's a PC running Linux.
This is just gonna make Atari go bankrupt again.
No, I hope. Okay, I am saying how fucking dumb this is, but I do like Atari. They are a cool company. They haven't done much in the past 40 years. It's an Indiegogo project. That explains everything.
There you go. This just looks like Atari's version of Ouya.
I forgot about the Ouya. Oh my god, I forgot about the Ouya.
I'm sorry for any hardcore Atari fans in here. I'm just talking so much shit about it.
What platform was it? Was the Ouya an Indiegogo project?
I think it might have been a Kickstarter.
Yes, it was. Oh, I forgot about the Ouya. Oh, lord. Okay. The Ouya was the dumbest idea for a console ever made. So, if I remember correctly, wasn't the Ouya like an Android home console? Yeah, it's an Android home console.
Yeah, it's literally just an Android box.
But this was way before we had things like Stadia or Nvidia, whatever the game streaming service is called, any of the game streaming services. This was going to be you play Temple Run basically on your TV. Pretty much. I wonder why it didn't do that well.
Well, something else as well is like it had this whole business model of everything being free before you play it. But like the problem with that is like it's a mobile game. There's not a whole lot that you can like really do with that.
This was 2012 as well, so it's not like we have all of the really awesome mobile games we have now. This was back when like the coolest stuff you had on mobile was Temple Run.
Yeah, and like in addition to that, like a lot of the best games on the App Store and stuff were stuff that you actually needed to swipe your phone with. Like, good luck playing Fruit Ninja on a fucking Ouya. That's going to be miserable. Like, there was a touchpad on the controller, but oh my god, like, that controller was not quality in the slightest.
No, it wasn't a good idea for a console. Maybe now it would... Well, now it does already make sense because Nvidia's got their... what's their handheld called?
Oh, I remember hearing about that, but I don't remember
Shield.
what it's called.
The Nvidia Shield. I don't know if there's new versions of it coming out, but it did well when it came out. Because of how much has moved online now, I can definitely see it making sense, but it didn't make sense 8 years ago.
I mean, but like another thing as well is like I think just as a concept itself, it doesn't really make sense because mobile games are meant to be mobile. They're meant to be things that you play for like 5 minutes and then you're like, oh, I've had enough of this. And like the stuff that does get ported to mobile that are like actual full indie games, you're better off playing those on the computer anyway.
I can make an exception. Well, you probably should, but if you're going to be playing like emulated NES games, at the time, it was like Raspberry Pis weren't anywhere near as powerful. So sure, I can make an exception in that case, but when it comes to just Android games, it didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and looked at the FAQ for the Atari VCS. So what operating system is the Atari VCS running? It's running an optimized Debian version of Linux, not even RetroArch. So they're not even using something that's known for emulation. They're just using some like random version of Debian for some reason.
This one's good.
Wait,
yeah, my mate told me about this one. It's a really good one.
The Atari VCS is highly customizable, especially in PC mode. You'll be able to upgrade the hardware.
I'm pretty sure the only thing that said was upgradable was the RAM.
Yeah, not even the hard drive, just the RAM.
The hard drive has unlimited external USB capability. So it's already like less customizable than a PS4.
PC mode opens up the full PC architecture of the Atari VCS, so users can install a second OS like Windows, Ubuntu, or Chrome.
But
you mean
why?
Chrome OS? Chrome is not a operating system, and use apps like Steam to play AAA games. This is where it gets funny.
AAA games on this dog shit piece of fucking wood.
Or retro emulators.
Oh my god!
You
what
mean the
is
thing
this
that
thing?
you mean the thing that they bought already?
This is actually just mind blowing.
The mind blowing part is that people are going to buy it. That's the mind blowing part. It's just a little computer running a custom version of Debian.
Literally, go buy yourself a fucking computer and just hook it up to your TV.
Just buy a Raspberry
You
Pi.
get more use out of it.
Buy a Raspberry Pi. You can get a little box for them like this big.
No. Yeah, but can a Raspberry Pi play AAA games like this Atari can?
That's a fair point. I don't think you can. By AAA games, what they mean is you can play Fortnite.
I mean, pretty much. You're not going to be playing anything actual value on this thing.
You can play League, you can play Fortnite, you can play... Valorant, maybe? On, like, lower settings. Are people still playing Overwatch? I don't know.
Well, okay, this is another weird thing. The people that are going to be buying this obviously don't know about a Raspberry Pi or about traditional PC gaming. So... Does it?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. It's going to be parents who buy it because they're like, back when I was a kid, I played Tetris.
So like, does it come pre-installed with the software?
Yeah, it's coming pre-installed with a custom version of Debian by the sounds of it.
Okay, so it comes pre-installed with a Linux software, which it's not like the worst thing to learn, but like. I think most people that are going to be buying this would be used to like Windows.
I think it's supposed to be like Steam OS style Linux, so very locked down. Sort of like you're on a game console. So that's what it's supposed to be like. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen how you actually get the games on this. Okay, so it comes with 100 games by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
So, is there a way I can load other ROMs on it? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think that's like what the PC mode there is for, but like that goes back to what I was saying before. The kind of people that are going to be buying this that don't know about Raspberry Pis or traditional PC stuff are going to be like, how do I install Windows 10 onto this thing?
Yeah, because it's going to be when you boot it, it's not going to have an OS on there, so it's just going to be a DOS prompt.
This is so big brain. This is galaxy brain levels of marketing.
Okay, to be fair, Atari, if you want to send me one, I'll have it because I want to see if I can. I want to see if I can get root access to your Debian system
sponsor me after we talk shit about your console
Yeah,
for
that's
like
fair.
40 minutes.
But there's something mentioned on here about stream. Wait, is this? Wait. Watch your favorite web-based videos, entertainment, and play games at up to 4K 60 FPS. Wait, is that saying this is a subscription service with this as well? Or is that talking about external ones like Netflix?
Surely.
I don't know. Maybe you can stream Atari games over the web. Have you ever wanted to play ET over the internet? Hopefully it comes with ET. If it doesn't, I'll be sad.
Just like so many, all the good games that were on this, there's better versions of them now. And the rest of, like, half of these games are basically going to be unplayable. Like, I don't know how much Atari shit you've seen, but like, they're going to be so bad. They're going to be like, oh, I played this for literally 2 minutes. I'm like, oh, this game actually sucks so much dick. I don't want to ever touch it again. And then, like, the good stuff like Asteroids or, like, I don't know if Tetris was ever on the Atari, but, like, that stuff has good versions now.
Well, yeah, if you want to go play Tetris, what's the fucking... Is it Tetris 10,000 or something? Tetris 9,000? What's it called?
Tetris 99.
Tetris 99, yeah. I didn't remember
That's
the numbers.
a good game.
Like, that's actually a good version of... Tetris 99. That's actually a really good version of Tetris.
Either play Tetris 99, which is fun if you like versing other people, Poi Poi Tetris, which is like fucking really tight and excellent, or Tetris Effect on a PS4, which is like more chill and good.
The only one I don't know if there's a better version of is Pac-Man.
Pac-Man Championship Edition.
Pac-Man Championship Edition.
It's slightly different, but I think they also have like a normal default mode in that.
Do you know what I just realized?
What?
We've been talking about video games for 40 minutes. After Ken
No!
Oh, I apologize
Kenley,
for nothing.
It is your own fault, sort of, by telling me.
But yeah, this actually does look like a pretty good version of Pac-Man.
The main like mode of that championship edition is really interesting. I'll say this and then we'll move on to a different topic.
We don't have to. Kenley can accept it.
It's basically the ghosts are sleeping, and when you go past them, that's when they start to follow you.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like the board gets split into two things, and then if you eat all the dots on one side, then that side gets replaced with a new one, and like you having this whole train of ghosts following you until it finally gives you a power pellet, and then you turn around and you just munch on like 50 ghosts. It's really fun. I would recommend.
It does sound pretty cool.
But I think there is also just like the normal Pac-Man mode on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. For anyone who doesn't know about Tetris 99, the only reason I know about this game is because a lot of VTubers like to play it. For anyone who didn't see the topic last week on VTubers, go watch the clip that came out where me and Josh talked about them. The top VTuber gets $160,000 a month just from super chats. That's all you need to know.
I haven't been able to listen to that one yet because it literally came out yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And the video version looks like shit for reasons, because yeah.
Uh-huh.
So if you just listen to the audio version, it's fine though. But that one was a fun episode. So Josh was recording from the VR lab, and there was like a bunch of people walking around in the background. Like Kung is walking around, Corey, Sam. I think that's everyone. So sometimes you'd see Sam just roll behind.
Well, maybe I'll have to watch the video version then.
Well, that was a fun
some other
episode. And then I think after that we went over to the Mawson Lakes Hotel to get some dinner.
Over to the pub, you mean?
Over to the pub. Yes.
I got some other topics to talk about.
Yeah, most of my topics are just like funny anecdotes that have happened over the past couple of weeks.
Alright, tell me one of your funny anecdotes. I told you one with the fucking Zambreros dude. That's how we got onto this fucking whole topic anyway.
Okay, cool. So, as you guys know, I work in a supermarket. Lots of fun. You meet some interesting characters. I recently have moved over to a different store, or I'm in the process of moving. And this store, I would have thought it was less Darrow, but it's Darrow in different ways. So, I will describe this man as the energy drink man.
Oh, no.
So, this little Chinese dude, he was like maybe 5 foot tall. He came up to me, he with a can of mother. And he was like, which mother is better? I'm not going to try the Chinese accent. I can't do it. He was like, which mother is better? And he was like pointing at the blue one and the red one. I was like, I don't know. I don't drink mother. And he's like, oh, you don't drink mother? I was, okay. Yeah, no, I
Heathen.
I feel like it makes it hard for me to sleep. It's like, oh, does it give you a lot of energy? It's like, yes. It's like, does it have a lot of sugar in it? I was like, yes, it has a lot of sugar. Is this going to be good for for working? I was like, I don't know. It's going to give you a lot of energy. And then he went all the way back to the start. I was like, so it gives you a lot of energy then? It's like, yes. And we went over this point like 4 times. And then back to the fucking sugar point. It's like, yes, it has a lot of sugar. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll buy it then. It's like,
this dude just stuck in a loop.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Trying to just get high off of fucking mother.
I do have another one, not as good as that one, but we might save that for later, unless you want to go on your topic now.
I mean, no, you can talk about your anecdote.
So you know those scissor lift, like, you know what a scissor lift is, yeah?
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know what a scissor lift is, basically it's like got a scissoring action, and it will like lift the top up in the air. So this dude at Elizabeth was doing some renovations there, and as he was like driving the scissor lift down the aisle, he was just looking at his phone the entire time, not watching where it was going, just like pushing it forward, just looking at his phone, going through his Facebook. It's like, mate, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know there are people around, right? Like, what? Special. Absolutely special.
Really big thinkers work.
Yeah. Don't do that. Same with a forklift. If you're driving a forklift, please don't be on your phone. Just a bit of humble advice.
Just a little bit of good advice. I looked at the grade distribution for C++.
Mm-hmm.
Has 35% F2. I know that's probably like inflated by 5 or 10% just purely because like people join courses and then just don't withdraw, but like that is a lot.
See if I can bring up mine. I'll see if I can show anything without showing too much information. Okay, you can't see anything. You shouldn't be able to see. Cool. I don't care if you see my grades. Which one are we talking about? C++?
Yeah.
Holy... Yeah. That's the highest category. That's, not how that should be.
Alright, bro.
So yeah, this is how...
It should be a normal distribution, HD to P2, and then, like, the Fs should be, like, not the small... It's more like a slight incline, but, like, it should be, you know, C is the middle grade, and then, like, they go down, and then F has a slight tail on it.
Yeah, this... Also, our marking system is really weird, so... For some reason, they've got a blank category there. I don't know why there's a blank category.
Why not?
Then we have other passes. So other passes are things like non-graded passes, which you can get if you have like a... Usually it's medical reasons. Usually it'll be something like you did all of the work, but you had like a, I don't know, a serious mental breakdown, and you had to be, I don't know, you have like serious depression or something like that. Things like that. Or in the case of right now with the pandemic, basically if you passed and you didn't like your grade, you could say, I want a non-graded pass, and then that just won't be counted to your overall grade. Then we have F1 and F2, which is you failed, and then you failed worse, and then you failed even worse again. And I'm not sure what WF would be, a withdraw fail, maybe?
Yeah, that's if you withdraw after the census date, I think.
Those are fucking idiots.
I don't know why you do that. You're paying money to fail a course.
Yeah, so the way it works here is if you are... I think is it up to like week 3 or something?
No,
Two.
it's usually around week 6.
Oh. And okay, anyway.
There's like, it's pretty lenient.
Anyway, there's time into the semester where you can like say if you want to do this course or not, and if you drop out before that point, then you just don't pay for that course. So it's sort of like a try it before you buy it system, except you waste 6 weeks of your life. And then I guess withdraw is just a... Yeah, W would just be withdraw, presumably.
Yeah, before the census date, which means you don't have to pay money.
I think the worst one, like worst as in it was ridiculous, was like ridiculous how easy it was, would have been something like network fundamentals. Yeah. Oh, it had a lot of fails and a lot of passes.
Why does that have such a... I think the first semester subjects are like a bit unfairly weighted because like
Yeah.
you have the people coming in that don't really want to do uni and they're like, oh fuck, I'm just not going to try.
Yeah, I have spoken to lecturers and they have said the way the course was set up was to basically weed out people who won't make it through.
Yeah.
What's another one? Problem solving and programming. Oh, you see how much it is. Is there anything on here that identifies me? Nothing. Okay, cool. I thought maybe my like student ID was here. So it's $1,131, at least in first year.
Mm-hmm.
So problem solving and programming, yeah, it's the same problem here. You have lots of super high passes, lots of fails. Tools was a really easy one. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Fuck.
What the hell?
Yeah. This course was basically you write, I think it was like 1,000-word research paper. You do I think 5 commits on Git, and then you get an HD.
But like actual.
And so some people managed to fail.
Got a really weird distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Network security has no fail grades.
Okay.
I don't know how, but it doesn't. But I don't think it had very many people in it, so maybe everyone that was in it actually did pass.
That's fair.
Because that was like network security is one of the last networking courses that you do. So
yeah, I think the only course I've seen that actually has a reasonable distribution is AI, which is weird because everyone hated that course.
Interesting.
So AI, for people listening to the audio version, I think it's what 27% of people got C's, and then it's sort of like normally distributed around that, and then a bit of a uptick on F2s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fun topic. More talking about university.
What's your GPA?
Stupid. Let's find out. 6.5 right now.
That's pretty good. Mine.
Our GPA is out of 7.
Mine ended at 6.04.
Mm-hmm. So yes, this is the Big Brain podcast. For anyone who wasn't sure.
Yeah, big brain. I got a HD average. I don't know how, but I did.
Jesus Christ. I think Before I switched, I was at 6.8. So overall, it would be like a 6.7 or something like that.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's what happens when you have no social life.
Mm-hmm.
I would not recommend it.
I didn't have a very big one either, so.
But yeah, I was never going to parties or anything, but it wasn't like... But you still hung out at the university sometimes.
Yeah, I would spend like a bit of time there.
Mm.
I wasn't the most diligent worker, but like I made sure to get everything done.
For sure, yeah. There's some people, on the other hand.
I feel like as long as you have a GPA that's like above 5, I think you're fine.
I think above 5.5 and you qualify for a PhD.
Okay.
Yeah, so they kind of take anyone.
5.5 would probably be like a D average, I'm guessing.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Because 6 out of 7 is 85%.
Right, okay, yeah. That makes sense. But I don't know how people have... Like, I know people with like a 4.5 GPA. It's like, how do you even manage that?
How'd you make it this far?
And there's other people who I don't want to know what the GPA is, Aiden. But
poor Aiden.
Yeah, but he's done it to himself.
Self-inflicted, but
yeah, very self-inflicted.
There's I remember seeing this Luke thumbnail. It's like, "Am I too smart to learn?" And just seeing that just reminds me of Aiden.
Wait, why did you even see a Luke thumbnail?
I think I watched a couple of these videos after he like gave you a shout out.
Ah.
And then I'll occasionally just check him out.
Yeah.
But, I don't mind, like, his just rant stuff is the stuff I'd watch. Like, I don't really watch any. Same with you, I don't watch any of your technical things, so just watch the vlog.
Yeah, that's fair. What do I actually have planned for next week? I think I have some things that aren't super technical, but I could be forgetting. Well, to be fair, I haven't planned anything yet. I've got one talking about the... So you know how obviously a lot of stuff's going online right now with courses.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of universities are trying to like bring in these really what's the best way? I'm going to call them malware. So universities are trying to effectively use what I'm going to describe as malware to make it so they can do exams online.
Yeah.
So they're using these things like the lockdown browser, which basically will track every single key press you make it impossible to open up a new tab, have your webcam on, all these other things. And yeah, I want to talk about that, and
I'll probably watch that one.
I might do just a random discussion video about why not all the videos I do are about like really practical software. Sometimes I just do stuff that's mainly style over substance. And I want to do one on NVIDIA as well, which is a different front end for YouTube.
Okay.
But the rest of them are like fairly technical ones, like Fern.vim, which is a Vim file explorer, what is a snap, and also Tilix, which is a JavaScript-based terminal.
Yeah, as soon as I hear anything that has the word Vim in it, or anything that's a word I don't recognize, I'm like, yeah, nah.
I want to title that terminal video, JavaScript is infesting everything. I might change it, but
JavaScript is the new coronavirus.
If I didn't get the video demonetized by putting coronavirus in the title, I would do that.
Is JavaScript a disease?
Is JavaScript the new pandemic?
Could you get away with that one?
Maybe. I wouldn't be too hopeful though.
I think I know what tea I'm gonna have next time I come on. I got this, which I don't know, you probably can't read. It's a flower. It's called Blue Lily.
Yes.
And
it sounds like drugs.
It does have a psychoactive ingredient in it. It's legal though, so...
Are you gonna come onto my show doing shrooms?
Fucking God, no.
We will know if the lights are not on next time.
I could not set up my laptop if that was the case. if you rang me, I'd be like, why are you doing this to me?
Yes, come onto the show with your psychoactive tea.
Yeah.
What? Okay, what is the psychoactive substance in it? If for people who are interested.
I'll double check. Give me a sec. I'm just gonna.
I'll get to look at your desk. Nice.
Yeah. Thanks. Be back.
What is that off to the? Is it your left side? No, right side.
This.
No, there's like a top right.
That.
Yeah, there's like a line there.
I think it's a lens flare.
Oh, that's a funky looking lens flare. But yeah, I did notice the thing in the right, or the left, whatever.
Psychoactive alkaloid. Apropofine? What the fuck?
Apropofine.
APORPHINE.
APOR. I didn't catch the rest of that.
I'll just send you the.
Yes, please do that because I'm dummy.
It's basically it makes you relaxed, but also kind of alert at the same time, and it like improves your dreaming kind of capability.
Okay. Where'd you get this from?
Happy Herbs.
Sponsorship from Happy Herbs?
Yeah, I'd fucking take a sponsorship from Happy Herbs.
Honestly, they sound like a drugstore.
They are a drugstore, basically. There's one in the city. It's on Bank Street. I don't know if you know that one. It's like the one that's directly up from the train station.
Ah, yeah. But like, if you go in their store and you give them like the secret keyword, they'll take you out back to see the actual line.
No, I don't think they sell actual illicit substances.
That's because you don't know the keyword.
They do sell paraphernalia though. The way they get away with it is they call their glassware vases and they put flowers in them and they have signs that say, please don't take pictures of our vases.
Like, here's an ice pipe. I'm gonna put
not
a flower
an ice pipe. It's basically
it's
just
basically bongs
stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's bongs and pipes and just I haven't seen a meth fucking pipe there, so I think we're okay.
Look, just use a cigar pipe, and then no one's gonna question it. You can just buy, like, that's not even something that any cop would question. It's just a regular old tobacco pipe.
Just smoking some leaf, brother.
Yeah,
I mean, like, there's fucking police that always walk past it, so they're not doing anything too sus.
Well, another place that looks super sus in Adelaide is the shisha joint.
Dude, all the shisha places look hell sus.
Like, you walk past and it's just like smoke rolling out.
Yeah, well, I've heard stories of people like bringing weed and putting them on the hookah machines, and it's like, bro, it's on Hindley Street. Come on.
That's fucking awesome.
But I guess like the police can't really do much there because, like, if they're like, "Oh, you're fucking smoking weed on the hookah machine," all the people would come out and be like, "No, it's not. It's just normal hookah. It just smells different."
It's just weed-scented hookah.
Oh dear.
That's such a weird place. I don't know what you get out of going there.
I don't know. It's just like the social aspect of like smoking stuff, but like
that makes sense.
It tastes nice, I guess.
That's fair.
But apparently it's like even worse for you than cigarettes because it's like how sweet the smoke is or something. I don't know. I did it once when I was drunk. I was like, oh my god, this is the fucking worst thing ever.
That's how I feel about vaping as well. Like, I've done that once. I'm like, no. Maybe if I was smoking, it'd be better. But like, having gone from not smoking to smoking that, no.
Yeah, I don't come near me with your tobacco plant, thank you.
Yeah, if I'm gonna smoke something that's gonna be more interesting than that.
Something a bit illicit.
I'm not gonna say anything about a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, speaking of
tried
vaping,
DMT?
speaking of vaping though, vaping's a good way to use certain substances that I'm not gonna mention.
DMT.
Wait, put your head back where it was.
There.
Yeah, you can still see the flare. Is there something on your webcam?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it might have been a hair or something.
Oh,
Oh,
what the fuck? What is that? Okay.
yeah, sure.
It's gone now.
Maybe it might have been a hair.
I didn't see it, but maybe.
I don't know.
Interesting. Ah, what a beautiful collection of topics we've talked about.
So have you have you ever gone and listened to any lo-fi music?
No, I haven't.
I would recommend checking out the comment section on a lo-fi stream because they have the fucking weirdest comments.
Lo-fi chill beats 24/7.
Lo-fi chill cow. Let's see what's happening right now. Because people go there because they're supposedly studying. But they're not. They just, yeah, you'll see what I mean. I'm just going to mute the audio just on the off chance that YouTube doesn't like what I'm doing. Okay, so right now, I love Girl in Red Sweater, Weather the Song. Uh-huh.
No.
I think there's people talking about Final Fantasy as well. Hello, I need someone to make a daily speaking to improve my English. Can anyone help me? I can see that. Then we have some Spanish. I feel so close to y'all. What's uppity whoppity? School is kicking my butt. Yo, anyone listen to The Neighborhood? Do you listen to Girl in Red? There's lots of F's as well. Some language I don't recognize. And people talk about Oikawa for some reason.
I'm gonna start using what's the yuppity yuppity.
What's uppity yuppity? I need a bi or pan girl or lesbian.
What?
Here's a lot of strange people, but well, I like it. Yeah, this person knows exactly what's up. And now there's people talking about BTS. What the fuck is this conversation here?
I think you should run. I would not trust.
Yeah. We have some gabies.
Some gabies.
Which I presume is supposed to be, gay babies or something.
I'm gonna give birth to a gaby.
So yeah, that's lo-fi comments. I usually have it going on in the background right now while I'm planning out videos, just because otherwise, it's nice to have a bit of background noise. Background noise you don't have to focus on.
I like listening to just random Japanese songs because that way I can't attach anything to it.
Right.
If I'm listening to if I'm trying to come up with stuff and I'm either watching something or listening to something that has English in it, I'm part of my attention's put onto that. But if it's in a different language, I'm good to go because I can't understand it.
Huh. That's bizarre.
I don't know why. That's just
Well, so you would just fucking start playing some anime medleys when you're trying to do some work.
I mean, I won't do it all the time, but sometimes I'm oh yeah, I'll listen to some openings for some shows that I like, provided they're not too intense.
Huh.
I don't know. Maybe try it out.
Well, no, I know enough weeb Japanese to pay attention.
Uh-huh.
So,
Nani?
I need something without lyrics. If there's lyrics, then I can't do it. Even if it's in Polish. I think
Okay.
if it's I think it's more distracting for me if it's in another language.
Okay, interesting.
Because then it's like I'm trying to work out what's being said. Whereas if there's no lyrics whatsoever, it's more like there's just some sort of noise going on in the background.
Yeah, no, I understand. I guess it's just a me thing.
Yeah. No, I get it for sure, but yeah, it's not something I can really deal with. For a while, I was just listening to nothing, and then I realized when I'm trying to do things like read research papers, I fall asleep. Like, literally fall asleep.
Tell me you don't like reading research papers, the most thrilling activity the human species can engage in.
I love reading, and some of the topics I absolutely love, but you put it in the format of a research paper, and I just fucking fall asleep.
As soon as I see those double columns, I'm like...
Yep, basically. Like, I could be reading about, I don't know, some really interesting VR technology that I'm super interested in. You put it in that double format, or double column, though, I'm done. I can't do it. Doesn't work. I think it's also because the way they present it usually is, like, really, really dry.
Mm-hmm. This is the VR headset. It is used for virtual reality capabilities.
You know, I've got a paper right here. I'm just gonna take an excerpt from it, and you'll see exactly what I mean. For anyone who hasn't suffered reading through a research paper before. Do I have them still saved here? Research method, assignment 1. Yes, I do. Let's read about... What are we reading about today? We are reading about... artificial intelligence and some legal implications. Okay, here's part of the abstract. Various groups of ascertainable individuals have been granted the status of persons under American law, while that status has been denied to other groups. This article examines various analogies that might be drawn by courts in deciding whether to extend persons.
Shut up!
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. Yeah, and you do that for like hours and hours.
Mm-hmm.
See my problem? Yeah, pretty much. Oh no. My, everything's broken. Oh, might be able to fix it.
What have we been gone for?
We've been going for 2 hours and 12 minutes.
I reckon I'm happy to end it soon.
All good. Do I have anything else super important to go over? Nothing that can't really wait till next time, I guess. Unless you got anything?
I mean, pretty much the same. I've been getting more into the old animus.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Dorohedoro on Netflix.
I haven't watched anything in so long. I'm so behind, and it makes me sad.
I would recommend it. It's like a fuse of 2D and 3D anime though, so I don't know how you personally feel about 3D anime, but I know a lot of people don't like it. But I thought it was pretty good. It's just one season at the moment, but it's got a really interesting world, and I think I watched all of it in one day because I got sucked in.
I really need to smash out the rest of these assignments just so I can start watching stuff again. Because that is something I do want to check out, and I have some things I want to finish from previous seasons as well. Like I want to finish off Hiro no Sora, which is a basketball anime because I'm a big sports anime nerd. Yeah. Anyway, I will check out whatever the hell it was called. Dorohedoro. What the fuck's the name?
Dorohedoro.
Yeah, Dorohedoro. All I know about that anime is the opening is fucking awesome, and it's by the artist is No Name, I believe, and the song is called Welcome to Chaos. So if anyone wants to go listen to it, for anyone who's big on anime like I am, the artist also did the opening for Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash, and I guess it's the only other notable series they've done an opening for. But it's a really, really good song. So listen to it, and I don't know if the opening has anything to do with what goes on with the show, but it's fucking weird.
Like it has some importance, but not really.
Sure.
But yeah, that show has a lot of fucking good music in it. Like I've saved like the opening, and there's a good outro song that I've put in some of my playlists on Spotify.
Who's the I'll go to my anime list. Let's find out who the music producer, music person is. Sound director. Who did the outro? Oh, there's multiple outros. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
they're all done
like
by
4.
They're all done by No Name as well. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I will be sure to check that out. Also, it's a Mappa series as well. Mappa is a great studio. They did a really good series back when they first started called Zankyo no Terror, which is about 2 high school kids who become terrorists.
Alright, that sounds very good.
Yeah. And what was it? I think. Wait, if I don't want to get this wrong. Let me give me 1 sec. I'll just find what their names were. Zankyo no Terror, because then their names are numbers. Yeah. So one of the main characters is called 12, and the other main character is called 9, and there's another character called 5, and 12 is very close to another number, but I'm sure they probably couldn't have the main characters be 9 and 11. That probably wouldn't go down super well. Especially with them, being terrorists who go and blow up a tower. So probably shouldn't call them 9/11 in that respect.
Another Netflix anime I want to shill is Beastars is good, but it will turn you into a furry.
Beastars is fucking amazing, but yes, it will turn you into a furry.
That also has a fucking banger of an opening.
Beastars is about a high school where, for some reason, animals are people. Animals are people in this world, but there's a high school that they're in, and they're in like a drama club or something. And the wolf basically falls in love with a rabbit. And in this world, basically eating meat is sort of like frowned upon because meat are actually like other people in this world.
Yeah, so it's basically just like Zootopia, but more mature.
Yeah, it's Zootopia. Here we go. In a civilized society of anthropomorphic animals, an uneasy tension exists between carnivores and herbivores. At Cherryton Academy, this mutual distrust peaks after a predation incident results in the death of Tem, an alpaca in the school's drama club. Tem's friend Legoshi is a grey wolf in the stage crew. Has been an object of fear and suspicion for his entire life. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, he continues to lay low and hide his menacing traits, much to the disapproval of Louis, a red deer, and the domineering star actor of the drama club. Yeah. Basically,
it's really good.
It follows this wolf around doing wolf things and trying to, like, not kill people, basically.
Yeah. It's like...
And he wants to fuck his rabbit as well.
Yeah, wants to fuck the bunny. It's not really about the high school aspect though. It's more so just like character study.
Especially how that fucking went down. I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but how it went down with Louis' backstory. Yeah, like that series throws you like an absolute curveball once that starts happening.
And what else was another one I was going to say? Oh yeah, Disastrous Life of Psyche K. That's another good one.
I'm not a fan of that one.
No?
Nah, I watched the first season. It was really slow. I was like,
I just like it's not really a story. It's basically just like different skits.
Yeah,
and it's just
the comedy didn't appeal to me. That's my problem.
fair enough. I could understand why. I just like it because it's nice and chill and get the occasional laugh out of it.
I like my comedy to be full of cute girls doing cute things.
That's a very weeb thing to say.
Or, unintentional comedy where a grey wolf tries to fuck a rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I'm actually not going to spoil anything else that happens in that series. I was going to say who else tries to fuck the rabbit. Basically, everyone tries to fuck the rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you get.
And then the last thing I've been watching that I haven't finished is called Monster, which is like hell old anime.
Yes, that's something I haven't watched, but I've always heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like 70 episodes, and I'm only like 12 in, but it is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a well-known classic. 74 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something I've been meaning to watch for so long. I have no idea what it's even about.
It's basically about a doctor that kind of gets disillusioned with the medical system, and because it's like all about money instead of actually saving people. And then, I mean, it's not really revealed in the first episode, but like you basically find out straight away that one of the people he saves turns out to be like a serial killer.
Ah, okay.
And that's basically the premise for the show.
That
But
makes
it's
sense.
really good so far, and I've heard it just gets better the more it goes on. So
I'll definitely check that one out eventually one day.
that's my my anime. Gosh,
Yeah, let's see what I still have left.
that's pretty much all I want to talk about.
I'll see what I still have left in my list of downloaded stuff that I just haven't watched yet, because this is how far behind I am. So I still haven't finished the episode 9 of Azoken. What else do I still have left to watch? I'm at episode 9 of Koisudo Asteroid, and I'm still watching Magia Record. Like, I'm like I'm also on episode 9 of Nekopara, so I'm like real far behind.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck is this? Why did that get downloaded? My RSS feed broke, and I downloaded something called Peter Grill Tekenja no Jikan. I don't know what this is.
I reckon you should watch it then.
I will check it out afterwards, maybe. I don't know what this file is supposed to be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, for some reason, we did an anime recap at the end of this. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Sure. Was that on your list of topics?
It was. Dorohedoro and Monster was on my list of topics. Because
Okay.
like I never really used to watch anime. Like I think before those couple ones I was saying, I like pretty much had only watched like Death Note as a traditional anime, like excluding like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh and that dumb shit.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
But yeah, so I've been getting into the old animus.
Because you have no job and have nothing better to do.
Pretty much.
Actually, how has the job hunting been going? Has it at all?
I mean, yeah, but it's like I've had some interviews. I had like a pretty good one happen recently, but basically like the guy was like, "Oh yeah, your interview is really good, but even so, just because there's so many like people looking for a job, like you probably won't get it." And I didn't, so
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I get that.
It'd probably be hard to find something for a while, probably.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of companies are starting to move a lot of their workforce entirely online. Like, there's a report that came out recently talking about Australian commercial office rentals, and it's like fucking tanked. Because most companies like, we don't need an office. Like, it's cheaper to not have one.
Well, yeah, that's like something that's going to be like one of the really main impacts of the older Toyota Corolla. is like, yeah, there's just going to be so many jobs that can that get realized that can be done from home. So be interesting to see how that affects everything else.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like, there was one I saw where it was a recruitment firm. For some reason, a recruitment firm had an office. I don't know why. And they're like, yeah, we don't actually need this. We can just do everything online. And if we need to have a meeting, you can get, like, there's basically Airbnb for office space. So if you need an office space, you can use that.
Yeah, well, like even then, you could just go to like a cafe or something.
Yeah, but if you need something
really desperate,
like you want to talk something about a bit more private than that, you want to do some very important company stuff, whatever companies do, then like you can rent out things for like a day. So it's a very interesting way the model's going to shift, and we'll see where it goes in the next couple of years, I guess.
Sure. It's like I was listening to I have another friend that does a podcast, and it's like he's talking about how there was this basically poll or study, I don't remember which one, but it was done of like the Australian population. It was like, oh, how long do you think it will be until things get back to normal, because of everything that's happened. And like there was lots of people that were like, oh yeah, nothing's really changed for me. And then like it was basically, but the majority of people were like, oh yeah, I'll probably just get back to normal in like half a year or a year's time. But like, there's just so many unforeseen consequences of like what's actually happening.
Yeah, like if you're just doing, like if you're already working from home anyway, like nothing's changed. Like if you're doing, say, I don't know, remote dev work, or you're doing contract dev work, something like that, nothing's changed for you. Or even if you're on like even if you're a tradie, for most things haven't really changed. It's just like you sort of have to not stand as close to each other.
You have to do the old 1.5 meters apart T-pose.
Pretty much, yeah. But I can see how most people haven't had anything change. Like my job, we should be wearing we should have been wearing masks the entire time, but we never did. We didn't have gloves, we didn't have masks, nothing like that. So supermarkets never changed.
Yeah, I seriously doubt there'd ever be like the most big thing that happened at the supermarket, aside from like stuff not being there, is like my Coles rearranged a couple of things to space it out, and that's like about it.
Yeah, the really, really popular ones, they have like arrows that say which direction you can go down the aisle.
Yeah,
but even like Elizabeth doesn't have that. So, and Elizabeth is a pretty big one. So you have to go to like Adelaide or something for that to happen. I know the Foodland on Saints Road does do it though.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to end it there on the old Rona.
Yeah, we're almost at 2.5 hours. Yeah, I'm happy to end it there. Do you have a channel you've been watching recently you want to give a shout out to?
I do. It's a pretty big channel, but whatever. You Suck at Cooking. I like binged all of his videos in like a week because they're basically, as I see them, just better versions of my cooking videos. But yeah, that's my shout out. He's really enjoyable.
That does look pretty cool. Well, since we're on the topic of cooking, I had a different one I could have suggested, but we'll do a different one. So this is actually an Australian dude. This is called Nat's What I Reckon. So I'll send you a link to his channel. He basically is just like, you know what? Fucking stop using packet stuff. Just make it yourself. Like, a lot of his videos start with like him getting some sort of packet shit and then just like throwing it in the bin. Like, okay, packet mac and cheese, fuck that. We're gonna make it from scratch. Or packet, like, or he has a extreme hatred for jar sauce. It's like, stop using jar sauce. It's fucking easy. Just make it yourself.
I love these names. End of days bolognese. Wham bam, thank you, lamb. Chili con can't go outside.
Rice, baby. The ultimate stroganoff. Yeah, he does a really good job of what he does. And I think he's mainly, like, he's bigger on Facebook. That's how my sister found him. Oh,
Okay.
macaroni and cheese.
I'm gonna put chili con can't go outside on my watch later.
Yeah. He hasn't even been doing this for that long, really.
Yeah, he's got stuff like a couple years back, but this cooking stuff looks a bit more new.
Seems like he used to do, like, random bogany shit before. Yeah. Absolute bogan shit before. That's... The channel's really old, like... He's got 7-year-old videos. But, yeah, the cooking stuff's very new.
Alright, that's cool. I'll check him out for sure.
Yeah, I would recommend him. And if my sister happens to watch this, then she would recommend him as well. Do you want to shout out your platforms? Actually, we never. Just in case, I just realized at the start of the podcast we never actually said what you did in case anyone hadn't seen the previous episodes.
Well, I feel like surely the people that stumble upon this aren't going to just watch one of my random episodes.
No, I mean,
but
like,
you never know.
Yeah, at the start, I mean, like, I said that you had done the art for this channel and also the main channel. I didn't say anything else you actually did.
Yeah, fair enough.
So Connor has a YouTube channel. It's called Kozhan. He does skit videos that are bizarre in nature. Would be the best way to describe it.
That's a good way to put it. Just bizarre.
You're gonna think that you're watching something and it's not actually that video at all.
Yeah, the newest one, there's a chess video.
I haven't watched that one all the way through yet.
Goes very off the rails.
Yeah, by the looks of some of the parts I saw, it got a little bit weird.
So yeah, my channel's Kozhan. It's got fucking weird videos with a overarching storyline. Other than that, Supercozman is where you find all the rest of my stuff. So DeviantArt, Twitter, fucking whatever else. Yep, that's it.
That's it? Okay, cool. So I reckon we'll cap it off there then. Before we go, I would like to thank my supporters. So a special thank you to Joachim, Corbinian, Andrew, Craig, Nathan, Montezat, Joseph, Peter D. Road, Tony, Donald, John, Marek, Mikhail, Nephite, Tees, and Zilva. If you want to go support my work, there'll be some links to my Patreon and Subscribe Star, my coin tree, things like that. If you're from Kleenex or a lube company and you want to sponsor me, my business email will be on my channel page.
And Happy Herbs.
And Happy Herbs. If Happy Herbs wants to sponsor me, I will consume your herbs on the podcast. And so will Connor. I will send him some of the samples.
I have some.
You're going to get some more samples.
Alright.
If you want to go watch my main channel content, that's where I mainly do Linux nonsense, where it's much more structured than this, and I'm trying to say something that actually has value rather than talking about herbs for half an hour and video games and ranting about Atari. That is Brody Robertson on YouTube and Library, and it's also available on BitChute and BitTube. I'm really tired. It's 2 o'clock and I haven't had lunch yet. This channel, if you're watching it on YouTube or Library, the audio version is available anywhere you can find audio podcasts. The video version is available on Library and YouTube. Should be out on Tuesdays, Thursdays. I don't fucking know what day it comes out. I'm working it. Look at what day it comes out. One of the ones
that starts with a T.
Look at when it came out the week before. It's going to come out 7 days from that point. You can work it out yourself. I think that's pretty much everything then. How do you want to sign off the podcast?
What that guy say? What's uppity puppity?
Uh, what? What? Fuck. What was it? It was what's uppity duppity.
Yeah, what's uppity duppity? Catch it on the flippity floppity.
Yeah, squad fam out.
Yeah.